In a historic decision, Malawi's High Court has ruled that students with dreadlocks must be allowed to enroll in public schools across the country. This landmark judgment comes after years of struggle and discrimination faced by Rastafarian learners. The court went even further, instructing the Ministry of Education to issue a circular by June 30th, officially removing all restrictions that prevented Rastafarian learners from attending public schools. This groundbreaking ruling stems from a petition filed on behalf of two Rastafarians who were denied admission to public schools in 2010 and 2016.
Hey there lovelies, it's Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel, and I am hoping that from wherever you're watching me from, you're doing alright. Yes, and as always, to the members on the channel, hello. To the subscribers, the new ones and returning ones, the anonymous supporters that give me support on here, thank you so very much. I don't take any of you for granted, and once again, thank you so very much. Guys, today's video is, oh my goodness, when I landed on it, it was like a reminder of my childhood, my school days, because I never got a chance to have long hair in school, and that wasn't just me, but all the girls that went to my school. Guys, even to date, yes, all girls are not allowed to have long hair, including those that veil their heads. They are still not allowed to have long hair, and the excuse that was given to us was we looked smarter without our hair, that we cannot keep our hair really nicely, that if you have long hair as a child or as a girl, you look so mature and you look so grown. And because of that, we were all forced to cut off our hair. Let me tell you, we were not allowed to, our hair was never allowed to go above 3 inches, 2 inches. No, it was like you literally had to have a Shaolin or totally shaved off, right? That's what we used to have. And like I said, those are the excuses that were given. But little did I know that a lot of these are residual, trails of colonialism that happened on the continent. So when I landed on this video where Malawi was now legalizing and allowing children from Rastafari family with locks to attend public school, I was like, oh my God, it wasn't a problem just for my country, Uganda. Apparently, even in Kenya, apparently in most of African countries, when you go to school, you're going to realize that children do not have their hair. But all of this is just the trails or the leftovers of colonialism, and I wish we all understand. But guys, let's watch this video together. We are going to come back and I'll give you more insights and more of my commentary about this.
Here is your latest Africa news. In a historic decision, Malawi's High Court has ruled that students with dreadlocks must be allowed to enroll in public schools across the country. This landmark judgment comes after years of struggle and discrimination faced by Rastafarian learners. The court went even further, instructing the Ministry of Education to issue a circular by June 30th, officially removing all restrictions that prevented Rastafarian learners from attending public schools. This groundbreaking ruling stems from a petition filed on behalf of two Rastafarians who were denied admission to public schools in 2010 and 2016 solely because of their dreadlocks. To provide context, it is important to acknowledge that the banning of dreadlocks in public institutions in Africa and other regions has its roots in the policies of colonization. During the colonial era, cultural hairstyles and natural hair of African people were unjustly labeled as uncivilized and animalistic by colonizers, leading to the forceful shaving of Africans to conform to their notion of civilization. Regrettably today, many African countries still use these discriminatory policies, fostering self-hate and undermining the value of African heritage. After obtaining an injunction and with the support of human rights organizations, these determined learners took their fight to court, demanding equal access to education for Rastafari children, free from prejudice. Justice Nzione Ntaba, in her inspiring ruling, declared, "The Ministry of Education must issue a statement allowing all children of the Rastafarian community with dreadlocks to be admitted into classrooms. The circular must be released by June 30th. Rastafarianism, an Abrahamic religion originating from Jamaica, emphasizes living naturally, including embracing their distinctive hair. However, Malawi's Rastafarians have long faced exclusion due to education policies that enforced haircutting to promote what was seen as uniformity among students. But today, a new chapter begins. This ruling not only impacts Malawi, but sends a powerful message throughout the region, following a similar case in June 2020 in Kenya, where their courts also barred schools from turning away Rastafari learners. This decision marks a significant victory for the Rastafarian community, championing diversity, respect for cultural beliefs, and breaking down barriers in education. We commend the High Court's courage and hope this landmark ruling serves as a catalyst for inclusive education worldwide, and that all Africans are no longer persecuted because of their natural hair.
One of the things that I love so much about Jamaicans, Rastafaris, and Black Americans is they will always stand for their rights. They will question everything, even when it needs to sue someone, they will do it. Now imagine in this case, if this family did not come up to sue these schools, what were they like? Where would they take their children if even public schools are not allowing them to go to this school simply because they have dreadlocks and their natural hair, which is their natural hair? Nothing is added to it. There's nothing superficial about this. In the next video I'm about to play for you, this was a Miss Uganda that was forced to cut her child's dreadlocks simply because the school said so, and these rules were never applied on foreign kids. And when I talk about foreign kids, I'm talking about white kids, Indians, and mixed kids. And this family was just reluctant, and they were like, yeah, those are the rules and that's it. But this family stood up for their children, and that is how they managed to win this case. And I feel like that is what we are supposed to do as Africans as well, not just to leave things slide and not question anything.
I'm so emotional about this. Today, Ethan is going to be cutting off his dreadlocks that he has been having for 5 years. And this is due to the fact that he's joining a new school, the North Green School, and they are very strict about hairstyles and the kind of hairstyles that the kids have, and we have to let go of the dreadlocks, as emotional as it is for me and as it is for him. But I've been talking to him for the past 3 days, for him to just warm up to the idea. And this is just one of those sacrifices that you have to make in order to just have a new beginning, a new start, because he's going into a new school, and these are the rules and regulations that he has to abide by, and we have to abide by as parents, as much as we chose that hairstyle for him, and as much as we wanted for him to keep the hairstyle. So hey, come. Fresh beginnings, fresh starts usually sometimes cost us, and here he is. Ethan, say hi.
Hi. This family came out to post on their the husband to this lady came out to post something on his socials, and he was talking about this same situation. He says 7 years ago, Dora Mrima posted a video about cutting Ethan's dreadlocks when he joined North Green School. 7 years ago, she talked about how emotional she and Ethan were about cutting his hair. 7 years ago, she mentioned that we and Ethan needed to abide by the school rules and regulations. 7 years later, we discovered that the school forcefully applies its rules and regulations only to Ugandans, while leaving foreigners exempt from these rules. 7 years later, the school chose to forbid Ethan from entering the school and cut him off from his social environment and friends because he stood up for himself. There are two solutions for the North Green whatever school. Either apologize publicly to Ethan, which is their son, or apply the same rules to all students equally. Just as you used to force me to take my son to a salon at night to trim his hair because the teacher said steps are not allowed and we need to trim everything at the same level, or else they won't allow me to enter the school tomorrow. You can do the same to the foreigners. Hair clippers Hair clippers work on all sorts of hair. I agree. The same hair clippers that are used on black hair is the same hair clippers that are applied on white hair or mixed hair or whatever. So this should be applied. In my opinion, they even need to sue. They need to sue that whole entire school, because the level of self-hate you must have for your own people to literally set the bar so high but then lower it for others to pass, it's a dangerous one. And that goes on to tell us or show us the residues and remains of self-hatred that was created by the enslavers, the colonizers, because these are the same rules they used to groom and condition our people and put them in a place that is so down and make them feel like they don't have anything beautiful about them. We were made fun of our, facial features, that when I come and I look to you, you can already figure out that I am African, and you're like, oh, she has African features, as if African features are bad. And it is so crazy that these same rules, these same habits that were used to create obedient slaves, they're the same things that are still applied even to date. When I was beginning this video, I said that we were not allowed to have hair above, 2 inches, 1 inch, 3. Guys, that was a mistake. We were bald. BALD. That's why you realize you find a lot of kids that have trauma. That's why you find that wigs are trending over here, because this 4C was something that was looked at as if it is something that is bad. You understand? And we glamorize wigs, we glamorize straight hair, and this is not just happening over here. Texturism is a thing in the US to an extent. People make videos and they're saying if you have 4C hair, you might as well go bald. Why do you have to decide who looks beautiful and who doesn't? In your eyes, that is what it is like. If I don't look good, it's okay, but do not impose things that you feel like they are the things that fit me. And again, I say these are not things that are just going on in here. There are kids in the US that are made fun of because they go to school with their afros, as much as you can sue that. Over here, it's not an opportunity, or it's not a chance that you can do that. Because public school, and it was done in an international school, if it is done in an international school where these people took their child, what about public schools where I come from? So many of you will be shocked when you come here and go to schools and you find bald kids. There's no difference between a girl and a boy. They all look the same. Bald. BALD. People don't find a problem with that. All these manipulative tactics, I wish they all knew, these people that are putting and imposing these rules, I wish they all knew that these are the same tactics the colonizers used while they were setting up even these, useless educational whatever syllabuses and, the educational systems that we are still following that doesn't add anything but just create empty heads that are, oh my gosh, like I am fuming, right? But I have no option, I have no choice, guys, but to talk about this, except for maybe countries like South Africa, where things are different. But Uganda, Kenya, we are in the same boat. And I am speaking about this because we need to create awareness. They still left you the same systems to keep you down, that you don't have to question anything. They still control you. They control your education. They control what you wear. They control how you feel and think about yourself. And I feel like it is time for us to come and challenge. And kudos and hooray to the Rastafari kids and the Rastafari families. I am dreaming of that day where I'm gonna have to see my children. By the way, my kids are not gonna go through this BS. My kids are gonna have to have their hair. If you don't want it as whatever the kind of school that I'm taking my children to, no. If you don't like it, then you lose the money. Your loss. I take my kids where they are accepted for who they are and whatever they have. Afro hair is beautiful. We shouldn't be glamorizing wigs. We shouldn't be glamorizing bald girls. I mean, we are beautiful in whatever shape, but at least let it be an option that maybe a kid just wants to be bald, period, but not force it. This is forced. I'm so excited for the Rastafari family and Malawi for that move. That's a bold, good move. I hope all the rest of Africa emulate and copy. We need to trash this colonial, habits, this trauma that was inflicted on us. Don't be shocked when you come to Uganda and you find bald kids. I have warned you in advance. What do you think of this video? What do you think of the move for Malawi to do what it is doing? What suggestions do you have for us to move forward as other African countries? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in another video. My name is Gracie. I love you. Bye.